we have studied about the data transfer scheme, and after that we have started a discussion on serial and parallel communication protocol, where we have studied about the modes of communication, simplex, duplex and full duplex mode. In that video lecture we have studied about the parallel communication and serial communication. As we know, in the parallel communication protocol we use a PPI, programmable peripheral interface is what there, for interfacing multiple I/O devices with your 8085 microprocessor. With that, in earlier video we have studied about the modes and two types of serial communication, that is synchronous and asynchronous communication. So on the basis of synchronous and asynchronous communication, Intel Corporation have designed one more IC to provide a serial communication to your microprocessor. By using that IC you can interface a multiple I/O devices or maybe peripheral devices by using a serial communication. So this IC support a synchronous and asynchronous both the communication protocol or data transfer protocols there. So for that, Intel Corporation have designed a IC that is USART8251. What is the long form of USART? Universal Synchronous Asynchronous Transmitter and Receiver. In this video lecture, we are going to start a discussion with USART block diagram. With that block diagram, we are going to understand the explanation of that blocks. With that, we are going to study the pin description of your 8251 USART, how it used to operate, its control register, and every single aspect of USART. So without wasting any time, we are going to start a discussion with USART8251. USART8251 consists with multiple blocks, and the blocks are shown in this block diagram. Here on output side we have a transmitter buffer which is connected with the transmitter control. Then we have a receive buffer there, and receive buffer is what is connected with the receive control. Receive control have three different pins are there. RX, RDY, whenever receiver is ready at that time, RX, RDY pins indicate that it is ready for receiving the signals from I/O peripheral. Similar like that, we have a clock for that. RXC is not there. If we want to provide a clock, that time we need a RXC pin there. Similar like that, we have a receiver buffer. With that we have a RXD. Whenever we want to receive a serial data to a USART from your I/O device, we need this receiver buffer there, and for receiving RXD pin is what available there. Similar like that, for transmitter controller we have TX, RDY. Whenever transmitter is going to be ready for transmitting data, TX, RDY is going to provide the signal for that. Then we have a TX, MD. Whenever transmitter is not doing anywhere at that time, we have to create an MD signal for I/O device to tell that transmitter controller or transmitter section is not that much busy. Similar like that, we have a TXC clock there. So TXC clock is needed for transmitter control. Why transmitter control and receive control sections are there? To control the receive buffer and transmitter buffer. As we know, buffer is a device which is capable of holding a data during a communication. So whenever we want to transfer a data, whenever we want to receive a data, that receiving and transferring work is what we ultimately controlled by receive control area and transmitter controller area. So transmitter control and receive control have a few commands and pins there, which is ultimately going to decide the communication, receiving and transmitting. So after that, these all four blocks are connected internally with your read-write control logic. So read-write control logic control the transmit controller and receive controller. Okay, for that internally it is connected with the receive controller and transmit using a serial communication with your microprocessor. Your microprocessor need to communicate with your USART IC first, and then your USART IC is going to communicate with your IO peripheral. As we know, USART is a serial communication IC. We are going to use a serial communication here in two different configuration, that is synchronous mode and asynchronous mode. For that purpose, we need a 8-bit data buffer. So this 8-bit bus bidirectional data buffer used to transmit a parallel signal from your microprocessor to your USART. Now, this signal is what get received by your USART. Your USART need to convert that parallel data into a serial one. For that purpose, we have a transmit and receive control unit there. So whenever we want to transfer a parallel data through microprocessor to IO, at that time transmitter controller have a buffers which hold that parallel data and convert that parallel data into a serial one. And that serial data is what get transmitted by using a transmit buffer, which is going to ultimately convert the data is what going to transfer through a TSD. Similar approach is what there when we used to receive a data from IO peripheral. At that time, we have a string of a serial data. That serial data is what going to enter through a receive buffer. As we know, buffer used to hold that data. So that serial data is going to get hold, and after holding that data, we are going to convert that data into a parallel. And by using data bus buffer, we are able to convert that data, and we are able to send that data to a microprocessor by using a parallel communication, or we can see that by using a 8-bit parallel bus. So this is nothing but the working and block diagram explanation of USART. Inside that, two main sections play very important role, that is transmitter control and receiving control. So transmitting control and receiving control area plays very important role to convert your serial data into parallel and parallel data into a serial and hold that data by using the buffers. Okay, similar like that, here we are watching that multiple pins are there, and what is the meaning of these multiple pins and little bit feature of your USART. So we are going to think and we are going to describe that features in detail. First is there, it comes in a 28-pin DAC package. Your USART support total 28 pins. With that, it operates in a both mode, that is in a synchronous mode and asynchronous mode. Even it support even or no parity. Even and odd parity is not available with this IC. Only even parity is what going to be there, or no parity is what going to be there with this USART system. In synchronous mode, the baud rate is very high, up to 64,000. Okay, so 64K is what the baud rate of your asynchronous mode. If you are using the USART in asynchronous mode, the baud rate is going to be a 64,000. With that, operate in a full duplex mode. It used to operate in a full duplex mode. As we know, in earlier lecture we have studied about the half duplex, full duplex, and duplex mode. So here in USART, it operates in a full duplex mode. What it means, we can transmit and receive the data at a time simultaneously. Then the data buffer register and two control status register is available into your USART. What we have total 3 registers there, that is data buffer system is there. With that we have 2 data buffers and your control and status registers are there. So how to select that control register, how to select that data register, and when we have to read the data, when we have to write the data, or maybe when we have to receive and transmit the data is ultimately going to get controlled by your read-write control logic. For that we have multiple pins there. So we are going to describe every single pin and its meaning in detail. First we have D7 to D0, that is available for IO pins. It is a bidirectional pin used as an input and output, and it is a data bus, 8-bit data bus. Then we have a CD there. It is an input pin and it plays very important role to control our data is to be written. Okay, read and write pin are used for reading the data command and for writing the data or for controlling the data. Then we have clock signals there. So clock signal pulses are TTL logic pulses, which is provided to your USART for clock purpose, clock frequency providing purpose is what there with these clock signals. Okay. Then we have a reset pin, which is used for resetting the inputs. Then TXC is there. TXC is used for a transmitter clock, and TXD is used for a transmitter data. Okay. TXC meaning transmitter clock and TXD is transmitter data. Then RXC stands for receiver clock and RXD is for receiver data. Then we have RXRDY. RXRDY plays very important role. It indicates that the receiver is ready or not for accepting data. Then TXC pin is there, that is a transmitter in whenever communication is not going to happen in your transmitter. At that time, this signal is generated for making the IO peripheral that transmitter is ready or transmitter is ready or transmitter is empty. So this two signal plays very important role, TXC and TXRDY. Then we have DSR. DSR stands for data set ready. Whenever data set is ready, at that time you set this pin and it's an input pin. Then we have DTR pin there, that is data terminal ready. So data terminal ready, at that time we will set this pin. Then we have SYNDET/BD. So this pin also plays very important role. It is used as a both input and output pin, and it used for break detect, synchronous detect or break detect. For that purpose we need this pin here. Then RTS pin is there. What is the meaning of RTS pin? RTS pin is used as an input and output pin, and it used for request to send a data. Whenever you want to request for sending the data, you need to change the value of RTS pin. Then CDS pin. CDS pin is used for clear to send the data. Whenever you have to send the signal for to your IO that we are clear, in the sense we are ready to receive the data, at that time we use the CDS pin. Then we have VCC and ground pin there. This USART is created by Intel Corporation and same operating power is what there as your microprocessor need. It operates on 5 volt and ground potential. So as we know, we used to control how we have to receive the data, when we have to receive data, when we have to transmit the data, and for that purpose, whenever we have to know the status of that, for that purpose we have a read-write control logic. So how to control these things? It is depend on these pins, that is RD, WR, CD, clock, reset and CS. So how we used to set its configuration? We have to learn this by using this chart. So pay your attention on this chart. By changing the values of CS, CD, RD and WR, we used to control the read-write operation of that, or we used to control the receiving and transmitting and the status register. We are going to select any register and control register by changing the values of these pins. So first we have a CS pin there, that is chip enable pin. So chip enable pin always needs to get set on a 0. Then we have a CD pin there. That CD pin indicates that control or data is to be written. Okay, for that purpose we use this pin. For two conditions we are going to place this value at a 0, and for two conditions we are going to place value of it at a 1. Okay, now simply we are going to change the value of RD and WR, read and write pin. By using this two pin and by changing the value of this two pin, we are going to transfer the data, we are going to receive the data, we are going to check the status of data, or we are going to select the control registers of that. Okay, so how we are going to change the value? In first case, we have placed the value of CS at 0, value of CD at 0, value of RD at 0, and value of write at 1. At that time, 8085 data register of receiver to data bus. At that time, your microprocessor 8085 sees the data register data bus. It is ready for receiving a data from a data bus. Second situation is there, that is when CS value is 0, CD value is 0 and RD value is placed at 1 and WR value is at 0, at that time data bus 28085 data register of a transmitter. At that time we used to see a data from your data bus 8085 to your data register by using a transmitter. In first case we used to receive the data, in second case we used to transfer the data from microprocessor, and first case we used to receive the data from your microprocessor. Then we have a next case there. At that situation CS potential is at 0, CD is placed at a 1, RD is placed at a 0 and WR placed at a 1. At that situation status word to a data bus. At that time we are going to know the status of a data bus. Similar like that, in last situation we have placed CS at 0, CD at 1, RD at 1 and WR at 0. At that time data bus to control register. Data bus to control register. At that time data bus is what going to flow a data from data bus to a control register and we are going to control it. Okay, then last situation is there where CS is placed at 1 and every single is at don't care condition. At that time data bus is in a tree state. At that time data bus is in a tree state. So ultimately these four changes in pin CS, CD, RD and WR ultimately going to decide when we have to transmit the data, when we have to receive the data, when we have to know the status of the data. Little bit about read-write control section. This read-write control section plays a very important role. So we are going to explain few things about read-write control. So read-write control is a monitor, is responsible for monitoring the data flow. It monitors the data flow between your microprocessor and between your IO devices. Then first point is there, this section has a control register. This section consists with a control register, status register and data buffer. We have a status register there, we have a control register there and data buffer. Data buffer is to hold the data. Then we have a status register which is responsible for setting the status, for taking the status for changing the values of a status pins there. And then we have a control register which is responsible for controlling the execution when we have to transmit the data by using a transmitter and when we have to receive the data. Okay, then it is also being responsible for using a synchronous mode or asynchronous mode also. Then active low signals are used with it to read-write operation. Whenever we want to read a data or write a data by using serial communication or by using a USART serial key, at that time it gets placed at the active low signal. Okay, when CD is high, whenever CD pin is placed at the high value, logic value, at that time control register selected for a control word or reading a status. At that time control word status is what we change, or we are going to read the status of your serial pins. Okay, when CD is at low position, or maybe we are going to change the potential of CD at a low value, at that time data buffer selected. Data buffer is what gets selected. When reset is used, whenever we use that reset pin, it goes into a ideal mode. The whole IC goes into a ideal mode. It means no data transfer is going to be happen in your USART. Then 16-bit control word register. It supports a 16-bit control word register and 8-bit of status register. So this is nothing but the explanation of your read-write control logic. How we used to select data, how we used to control the data flow. For that we have here a little bit in description there. It support 28 pin DIP packets. So explanation of every 28 single pin is what there in this video. With that we have explained the block diagram of USART, working of each block and explanation of this total system. So ultimately we have ended this topic